Hello, my name is Tony Rosado, and as many of you know, I am running for the ATA board this year. I really want to thank you for listening to me today, and while you listen to me, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. I am an interpreter, and I have been an interpreter for over 30 years. And during this time, I've been very fortunate because I've been able to work in very exciting assignments and travel all over the world. And this has let me meet a lot of our colleagues and fellow ATA members, both interpreters and translators from everywhere. After many years of professional practice, I decided that because I have been so lucky, it was time for me to give something back to the profession. So I decided to try to impact the profession through the American Translators Association with this candidacy to the board. To do this, I got inspired by our fellow members during my travels all over the world because the theme was always the same. I heard the members and the potential members say, well, I am not sure if I want to continue as an ATA member or become a member because what is ATA going to do for me, or what has ATA done that benefits me? You know as well as I do that there are many benefits that come with the membership. However, I do believe that these fellow colleagues have a very valid point. I have used that as my inspiration and my encouragement to run for office. Basically, I have devoted many years and a lot of time to the defense of the professionalization of our professions, both interpreting and translating. Why? Because I do believe that we are professionals. We are not laborers, and we are constantly assaulted by different forces that want to treat us not as professionals, but as laborers. What I would like to do, if possible, here with the American Translators Association candidacy is that I would like to fight for our professionalization, for the recognition that we all well deserve. Basically, in my opinion, we need to do some educational campaign so that people understand who we are and what we do. I do believe that the most important thing of both interpreting and translating are the interpreters and the translators, because we are the raw materials of this profession. Oftentimes with these new modern globalization tendencies, we see how the promotion focuses more on the tools, whether it is on translation tools or with video remote interpreting. And these tools are welcome. However, we should never confuse them with the only essential part to our profession, the individual. I do believe that if I am elected as part of the board of the ATA, we should emphasize this point through an educational campaign of all of our both members and clients so that they understand that the most important thing is to hire a good, valuable, capable, and able interpreter and or translator to do the job. And this is more important than all bells and whistles that can come with some mediocre professional or so-called professional. I am determined to spearhead this campaign, and I am determined to work on the preparation and issuance of some position papers sponsored by ATA, where we clearly explain to everybody that a good translation is impossible without a real professional translator, and that a good interpreting rendition is absolutely non-existent without a real good professional interpreter, regardless of the technology that you may use. Now, this does not mean that I am against technology. Technology is extremely important, but we should never confuse the tools with the most important thing, the individual. I think that it could be great to have a web page with ATA where the first thing that the consumer does, our clients, is to look at the benefits of hiring a real translator or a real professional interpreter, and explain there that this is the main thing. The main thing is never the technology or these other tools. If you really think about it, there is really no good product or good service without having a professional delivering the same one. For example, it doesn't matter how much money is spent by a promoter or an organizer in an event if after spending all the money you spend in a keynote speaker, a great venue, great catering, and so on, you hire interpreters that are mediocre, because after all, this will fail since people that come to the event won't be able to understand what the speaker has said. It is important that people understand that we are not fighting against these CAT tools or against these VRI devices or systems. What we want is to be able to have access as individual professional interpreters and translators to these tools so that we can benefit from them instead of leaving all the benefits in the hands of the intermediaries or the multinational agencies. I understand that when now somebody hires an interpreter for a service in another town for, let's say, 5 days, that will be cheaper if this is done through a video remote interpreting rendition, because the promoter or the agency will not have to pay for the airplane, the hotel, per diem, ground transportation, and so on. Those are the real savings that should take into account that promoter or that intermediary when quoting a fee to their end customer. However, what is happening nowadays is that they are trying to get lower fees for the interpreter in that example, with the excuse that now you can stay in your hometown and just do the rendition. Well, this is a misunderstanding, because the work for the interpreter, whether you do it a block from your home or even in your own living room, or you have to travel halfway across the world to do your rendition, is the same. The professional service is the same. The preparation time is the same. Therefore, the intermediaries' savings should be in all the money they save by not taking you physically to the place to deliver the service, but never cutting down the interpreter fees. This is what we have to fight for, and this is what we have to do through the education of our clients, the end client, the one that benefits for the professional services. I know a lot of our colleagues who would love to translate, like in the old days, real materials instead of doing what now they are confined to do by the big multinational agencies, where they are asking them to simply become proofreaders and editors of what a machine, a translation student, or a mediocre translator has done as the first translation. I think it's time for us to educate our clients on the importance of having real quality services delivered, and that's what I would like to do through the ATA, being a member of the board. If you elect me, I promise you that any decision, any vote, any opinion that I give as a board member will be after I consulted with you and I get your feedback. And at the same time, I promise you that I will keep you informed of every single thing that happens through my social media that you all know, and in direct communication with you. I want to finish this telling you that, to me, this is very important. I will not make money. In fact, I will lose money doing this, but it's time for me to give back to the profession and help all of our colleagues. For that reason, I ask you for your vote. I promise you that I will work together with the rest of the board members. We're not declaring war on anybody, but I think it's time to finally answer the question of all of our colleagues all over the world about what is ATA going to do for me. This is what we're going to do for you. Thank you for your vote, and enjoy Miami.